The Arizona Cardinals at the New Orleans Saints. Week 1 matchup. This one at the New Orleans Superdome. We are fired up for this matchup. It's an NFC showdown. Two teams that are playing within the NFC. Of course, it's going to mean something for both of them. Let's go to the Arizona Cardinals to start with this because they transformed what the defensive side of the football looks like. They decided right there in the middle, we're going to get a guy in Walter Nolan, the kid out of Ole Miss that played on arguably the best defensive line in college football there for the Rebels a year ago. We're going to add to our ranks in the secondary. Let's take the kid out of Michigan, Will Johnson, who had played very well against his now teammate Marvin Harrison Jr., the superstar Bolitnikoff winner, but Will Johnson had a pick against Marvin in the game a couple of years ago. They saw him fall all the way down into the middle of the second round, said, okay, that's fine for us, let's take him, and we could potentially get one of the best cornerbacks in football within a year or two. They also took Denzel Burke from Ohio State. They took another Ohio State player in Cody Simon in the middle of that defense. The Arizona Cardinals put all of those pieces together, and then on the edge, we're like, all right, the Oregon kid and Jordan Burch, 5 Big Ten defensive players to shore that side of the football up to help them out on that side of the ball. For New Orleans, they've got a new head coach. Kellen is there now to bring in a breath of fresh air to that squad, to bring in what he has done in the league, which is bring in very good offenses. We know, of course, about his success and what that has looked like. But can he do it with a guy that actually has the experience? Tyler Slough is 26-year-old. He's not a rookie coming in at 21, maybe off a Heisman Trophy, and hasn't necessarily played more than 20 games like a Drake May that hasn't played a whole bunch of football. We've seen a lot of these guys drafted very highly, haven't played a lot. Tyler Slough goes in the second round. He's played a ton of football. He's got a weapon like Chris Olave. Maybe he doesn't have Michael Thomas anymore, but is that such a bad thing? He's got that explosiveness. And then they shored up the left side of that. We've got Kelvin Banks, the kid out of Texas, who has been one of the best offensive linemen in college football the last couple of years. So when we dig into the weeds of this matchup, where is there an advantage for one of these teams? Oh, it's got to be the Arizona Cardinals in Kyler Murray's athletic ability. That's exactly what Jonathan Gannon will want to lean on, and that's what the Cardinals are going to do. They have an ability. They have a ceiling with Kyler's legs that few teams in the NFL do besides, of course, the Ravens, of course, the Eagles with Jalen Hurts running around. Now Washington with Jaden Daniels. They have a level that they can bring out once they utilize it. But we're not going to have to see Kyler run the ball 10 times a game. It's getting him outside the pocket, using the legs off the play action with James Conner, and getting him on the edge of the defense where you're putting somebody in conflict, where you're putting a corner or an edge player at a position. Like, is this a handoff? And you're immediately with that RPO. Why it can be so powerful when you play good defense behind it is because you can play extremely aggressive and put the defense on their heels. In the red zone, expect Trey McBride to get more targets. We're going to have a lot more than 2 touchdowns out of McBride. He's a top 5 tight end in the National Football League. Marvin Harrison Jr. may have had 8 touchdowns, about 800 yards a year ago, but there's more coming this season. He is a guy that put on a bit of weight, added some of that bulk and that muscle, and it seems like people have just forgotten who this kid is, what his last name is, who his dad was in the NFL, like that genes, that lineage that they're just saying Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Xavier Worthy, not so much the Odunze talk, but all these guys already better than Marvin, and they're going to be having better NFL careers. Like, let's slow down on that and let's see what this kid can do, because more likely than not, it's going to be a spectacular year for Marvin. Arizona expecting them to beat the Saints 30-14. New Orleans, they've been such a good defense for a long time, but all of that cap, it's like this wall of maturities that hit New Orleans and caused them a whole bunch of trouble that they're sorting to deal with now. But if you're a Saints fan, you're playing with house money. This is your squad. You can see how you perform this year. They're either going to be right on that fringe competing up there with the Bucks for the division, or expecting them to be a rather poor team, one of the worst at the NFL is what my estimation is, that it's going to be taking a lot more than a second-round quarterback to really turn things around within a very tough conference in what is a division that is getting better with the young quarterbacks in Penix, the young quarterback in Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield playing top 10 caliber football the last couple of seasons, 70 touchdowns and 8,000 yards the last couple of years. So a tougher division than people give it credit for. But Arizona, and some positivity, have them as a team that can compete within the NFC West, maybe even find themselves in the playoffs. It all depends on Kyler Murray. I mean, that's how it often goes in the National Football League for quarterbacks. You're going to go as far as your quarterback will take you, like Jaden Daniels last year. But Arizona, leaning on the middle of that defense, can they get the production from the rookies early and often in this game to be a factor and find themselves an early win, which is where I am leaning. So let me know down below in the comments what you think of this matchup, who's going to find an edge, who's going to end up winning this one, whether you agree, disagree. Please make sure to subscribe for more content. In the future, we're going to have previews, predictions, or recaps, live streams, all of it, having you covered for the NFL as well as college football throughout 2025 and beyond. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.